I just thought that perhaps he might have called to say he'd be late or something.
Well, he didn't.
I like that we're not even seeing their conversation. We're hearing it, but we are just watching her,
What do you mean?
like,
I thought I heard David on the phone.
take down this whole dressing and knowing what's happening. And it hasn't cut. We're just watching her get closer and closer to opening the chest.
Here, I'll help you with that, Miss.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cadell.
There you go.
That's all right, Mrs. Wilson.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Criminal Content. My name is Coby and this is Cash. And today we are going to continue on my discovery of Alfred Hitchcock classics journey and watch Rope. So Rope is one I am completely unfamiliar with. Some of the others I knew the titles. Rope, I didn't even know the title, so I don't know anything about it, but so far I've been really enjoying them, so I'm really excited to get into this one. And for the full watch along, head over to our Patreon channel and let's get into Rope. Okay. Back into the Hitchcock. Feel like I watched a couple, then I had a little break, now we're back in. There's such a beauty. Oh, it's James Stewart again. Okay, so we just had James Stewart in Rear Window. Vertigo.
Open it.
Well, we're straight into the action. These two guys just killed somebody. With a rope.
Got to see if this.
I know. Let's stay this way for a minute.
Nobody was ever a child, that is. I'll open these, all right?
I'm not sure if it's the dark or that he just killed somebody.
There, that's much better. What a lovely evening.
Such a painting.
Out of character for him to be murdered, too.
Yes, wasn't it? The good Americans usually die young on the battlefield, don't they?
What is going on?
I obviously can't take it as well as you, so I'm turning on you a little.
Rather foolish, isn't it?
Yes, very.
But very self-aware.
This is an occasion. It calls for champagne.
Okay, so Brandon's all excited about it. Philip is rattled.
Do you realize we've actually done it exactly as we planned? It was perfect.
Yes.
An immaculate murder. We're alive, truly and wonderfully alive. Even champagne isn't equal to us or the occasion.
I'll take it, though.
You're not really frightened anymore.
For the sake of killing. So literally just to see if they could.
Nobody commits a murder just
Here.
for the experiment of committing it. Nobody except us.
Well, the guy didn't even do anything wrong.
You just astound me. As always.
That's even better. To David, of course.
Philip's not quite on board. Well, a bit late to not be on board, but
Brandon, how did you feel?
When?
During it?
he loved it.
And then?
Then tremendously exhilarated.
Spoken like a true sociopath.
David's mother and father.
That doesn't make them any easier to talk to.
She's banked everything on hooking David. Don't think she's going to succeed.
They're inviting the dead guy's parents and a girl that likes him and who knows who else.
What for?
Never mind. Come with me.
This guy's crazy.
What the devil are you doing?
Making our work of art a
Oh
masterpiece.
my gosh.
Isn't it a good idea?
Well, at least this way no one will try to open it.
That's what I was gonna say. Less chance someone's gonna try and open it.
To look at these books, now what could be better than to have them laid out neatly on the dining room table? We're considerate, aren't we?
There was a rope hanging out of the chest. That's not the rope that's around his neck. Surely they haven't left a little bit hanging out of the chest.
You start on the books
Who
now.
is it?
Mrs. Wilson.
What did you do it for? You look like you got suckered into this. Yeah, see the rope? That's not.
What is it? If Mrs. Wilson were here, she'd yank it out for you. I won't let either of us stoop.
This guy is dark.
Particularly those candlesticks. They don't belong there at all.
On the contrary, I think they suggest a ceremonial altar. Philip, an ordinary household article. Why hide it? Belongs in the kitchen drawer.
This guy's cockiness is hopefully gonna get him caught. But also, they can't sit around that chest. The dining table they could sit at, but they're gonna have dinner around a chest that's solid and you can't get your knees under. And cool shot with the door. I like it.
We have courage. Rupert doesn't.
Mr. Cadell got a bad leg in the war for his courage. And you've got your sleeve in the celery, Mr. Phillip.
Yeah, I think Rupert's gonna be James Stewart.
Take it in the kitchen, Mrs. Wilson. I'll answer the door. Now the fun begins.
They literally just wanted to kill somebody to see if they, just for the sake of it, to see if they could, and then invite that person's family and people around.
Yes, that's why I sounded so stupid on the phone.
And then what? He said in 8 hours he'll be rested at the bottom of the lake and then get rid of the body.
Why is it I'm always too early at parties?
Probably because you're always on time. Mrs. Wilson, champagne.
It isn't someone's birthday, is it?
Champagne is such a big deal. Everyone's in shock.
Town hall at that.
Well, that's wonderful. I hope you knock 'em dead.
Most decorative.
Think so?
David going to be here?
Of course.
Who else is coming?
Oh,
Of course.
the Kentleys, Janet Walker.
Janet.
David's already there.
You knew Philip.
Oh, I heard vague rumors, but I never pay attention to that sort of thing.
Well, Janet and David are...
These two.
The oddest feeling anyway that your chances with the young lady are much better than you think.
What do you mean?
Janet.
They're so arrogant.
Bet you're going to play a foul trick on all of us and become, hello, Champagne? You see what I mean about trying to be funny?
I thought it was funny.
Didn't I notice another new one in the foyer when I came in?
Well, I don't think so. Which?
I could really strangle you, Brent.
Strangle.
At times, your sense of humor is a little too malicious, chum.
What are you chattering about?
Inviting Kenneth.
Well, he's certainly richer.
That's a new low, even for you, chum.
Give me a D in con.
They've killed someone right in their friendship group. Like,
For example, he thinks murder is a crime for most men, but
A privilege for the few.
yes.
oh, so it's all
It's all right, Mrs. Wilson. I'll answer.
to impress Rupert.
Mrs. Kentley isn't well, so I took the liberty of bringing my sister-in-law, Mrs. Atwater. She's been staying with us.
Oh, delighted to have you, Mrs. Atwater.
Delighted to come.
This is, you've made a mistake. This is Kenneth Lawrence.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's all right, Anita.
What did you just do? He just broke the glass in his hand?
Haven't been studying, have you?
I've been trying to, sir.
Oh, dear, the resemblance is only physical.
Don't be weird about it. Be normal about it. You just cut yourself.
Oh, well, I suppose you did, but the stars confirm it.
Wonderful.
Mrs. Atwater, may I present Mr. Philip Morgan?
How do you do?
He's bleeding.
May I get you some champagne, Mrs. Atwater?
Oh, I should adore some. Daddy used to have a glass every morning at 11. Because Henry doesn't like it.
Every morning, glass of champagne.
I expected him to come with you.
How's Mrs. Kentley?
As usual, it's a cold this time.
As usual.
She's in the bedroom telephoning.
Then you'd like David to walk in.
Oh, no, that'd be too much of a shock.
When we walk.
It's just like they wanted to kill him, someone, anyone, but they're also now trying to help Kenneth out to get her back. This poor guy's died for, like, their entertainment.
You're very much influenced by the moon. May I see your hand? You don't remember the hour of your birth by any chance?
Where's the blood?
Artistic.
What about the concert?
These hands will bring you great fame.
From playing or from strangling?
You going to play? How lovely.
Your wife sends her love.
David wasn't there?
No, he'll probably be here.
I wonder if they're gonna want to tell James Stewart when he gets there. You know, if he's Rupert and they're like, our, housemaster used to say that murder was a privilege for some. They're so proud of themselves. They're gonna brag.
Mrs. Atwater, may I present Mr. Rupert Cadell?
Delighted.
Thank you.
Yay!
Brandon's spoken of you.
Did he do me justice?
Do you deserve justice? Well, little Kenneth Lawrence.
James Stewart looks really thin in this.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I'd make it sort of a farewell for Philip.
Therefore, champagne.
Yes.
I see.
The champagne is blowing everybody's minds.
Guess I'm always excited when I give a party.
Really?
Mr. Cadell.
Oh, Miss Wilson. Wow, what have we here?
He's gonna be onto it.
I haven't the least notion what it was she lost.
Wonderful Mrs. Wilson. I may marry her.
Ah!
Yes, I adored it.
Did you? Good. I didn't like the new girl much. Definitely Scorpio.
No, I didn't like her either.
Definitely Scorpio.
I'll take Cary Grant myself.
Oh, so will I. Capricorn, the goat, he leaps divine. No, that was the other one. This was just plain something.
Casablanca.
Well, what did you see her in?
I don't quite recall. The something.
If I were you, I'd go easy on the patty, dear.
Come on, Kenneth. Don't be polite.
Ooh, rude. Now I feel like some pate.
Here, let me help. White or dark?
A little of both on this for Mrs. Atwater.
What about you?
He has no appetite.
I never strangled a chicken in my life.
Now, look here, Philip.
I
Just because
never strangled a chicken, and you know it.
Forgive me, but it just...
Mattress full of dollar bills or any of the customary unimaginative reasons.
Well, now, you don't really approve of murder, Rupert.
Here we go.
You may, and I do. Think of the problems it would solve. Unemployment, poverty, standing in line for theater tickets.
Ah!
By slow torture category.
Oh.
Along with bird lovers, small children, and tap dancers.
Bird lovers, small children, and tap dancers.
No, why do you think that?
Well, Brandon, the notion that murder is an art which a few superior beings should be allowed.
Yeah, is...
Privileged to commit murder.
And just who might they be?
Possibly, Rupert.
I'm sorry, Kenneth, you're out.
Gentlemen, I'm serious.
So are we, Mr.
They're giving away too much.
Fools anyway. There are far too many in the world.
Then perhaps you should hang me, Brandon, for I confess I'm so stupid I don't know whether you're all serious or not.
Brandon, the OG narcissist, the original. Look at him.
Mr. Kenby, wouldn't you like to see the books now?
Apologize, sir. Again, I'm afraid I let myself get carried away.
And you sound like a psycho.
May I use the telephone first? I'd like to talk to my wife. She may have some word of David.
Of course, it's this one.
Oh, dear, I'm...
James Stewart's Rupert's gonna figure it all out. They're gonna open the chest. It's gonna all...
Planning to do away with a few inferiors, by any chance?
I'm a creature of whim. Who knows?
I see.
I think he's definitely Scorpio.
He just wants to impress Rupert.
Why don't you switch on the radio or play some records? A little atmospheric music goes a long way.
They should just push these two into each other's arms. But for what?
Well, you and David used to be such good friends, and you're not now. It's my fault. I'm such an idiot, girl.
No, you're not.
And
I'm not very smart.
Why?
I never realized you were... Brandon and his atmospheric music.
You mean before I got here, Brandon knew we had broken
He even
up?
knew about you and David.
Completely ignorant when I told him. He
What's
said...
going on here, anyway?
I don't...
it's all gonna crumble.
Brandon, may I see you for a moment?
Certainly.
Why can't he keep his hands off people?
He's so arrogant.
I don't think that's precisely what I said,
It's
Kenneth.
what you implied, and I want to know why.
Some women are quite charming when they're angry, Janet.
You were not one of them?
I might have known you couldn't just give a party for Mr. Kentley. No, you'd have to add something that appealed to your warped sense of humor.
James Stewart is taking all this in.
Something gone wrong.
Well, you always plan your party so well, it's odd to have anything go wrong. She seems to be missing David. One for you, and one for me, my love.
Oh, Mr. C.
Well, the others don't seem to be in the mood for ice cream.
Is she not a lot older than him? Like a lot? I guess he's not young like the other kids, but...
But then when I was whisking out to do the shopping, he suddenly told me to take the whole afternoon for it.
Oh my gosh. He knows already?
Did he say why?
No, just a whim, I suppose. But when I came back...
And then the switch onto the chest.
Oh, so listen, here's the apple. Think what it
Do you ever think of any...
I mean, at least with the stuff on top of it, no one's trying to... I mean, the fact that they were gonna have dinner on the dining table, that would have been opened.
How do you mean?
Well, I seem to be the only one having a good time.
You and Mrs. Atwater?
Huh. I feel like Mrs. Atwater has a good time all the time.
I get quite intrigued when people don't answer questions, and quite curious. I must say...
All right, Rupert. I'll ask you. What do you suspect?
Say it.
I've forgotten.
I think he suspects a lot.
Not that I know.
Oh, come now.
I don't. Why don't you ask Brandon?
Just what is Brandon trying to do with Janet and Kenneth?
Yeah, and why?
Chicken strangler, as I recall.
Well, I just meant that Brandon's story wasn't true. I didn't mean I hadn't killed any chicken.
But he said that. He said, I've never strangled a chicken.
Because I don't like to talk about...
About what?
I
Strangling
can't play with that thing.
I want you to have them very much.
It's extremely generous.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't care if he has them. I just...
What? What?
I just think it's a clumsy way of tying them up, that's all.
David never had any trouble taking care of himself.
The rope!
Stand this.
I wasn't watching when it first went past. Yeah, he's so cocky, Brandon.
Oh, you wouldn't know me these days. I'm a new woman, punctual as a clock.
And they're freaking out, which is making making Rupert know what is up.
I don't like it, Brandon, and I'm not going to take it.
Voice now. I hope I didn't upset Philip.
You never let me get so much.
Also, they did it to make this guy impressed and proud anyway, so they're gonna tell him.
The first bedroom.
Mr. Kentley, do you suppose David could possibly be home?
I don't know, Janet.
If she clears that chest completely.
If he's not at home, where could he be?
Don't ask me, I don't know.
He might be in a number of places.
Such as?
She's gonna clear it to put those books back, to put the rest of the books back.
We might have a better chance of finding out where he is now if we knew where...
Oh my god.
I haven't the least idea where he...
Is Brandon watching this?
Why?
Because someone phoned from there with the message that David would meet us here.
Well, do you know who gave the message?
No.
Oh my gosh, she's bringing more books back to go in the chest.
Well, I just thought that perhaps he might have called to say he'd be late or something.
Well, he didn't.
I like that we're not even seeing their conversation, we're hearing it, but we are just watching her,
What do you mean?
I
like,
thought I heard David on the phone.
take down this whole dressing and knowing what's happening, and it hasn't cut. We're just watching her get closer and closer to opening the chest.
Here, I'll help you with that, Miss.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cadet.
That's all right, Mrs. Wilson.
Henry, Alice hasn't had a word from...
That was weirdly obvious, though, I feel. James knows he's in there. 100%.
Your books.
Oh, yes.
I can't tell you how sorry I am. Would you call me as soon as you hear from Dave?
Your book's in the rope.
Sure, the dear boy will turn up some...
He is next level, Brandon.
Oh, I don't...
Please.
This yours, Janet?
Yes, I'll just carry it. Oh,
Little fox.
I'll get my hat.
Oh, going with Janet?
Yes, we're all going together.
What did I predict?
Creepy. I do not like him.
You will call me the moment you hear from David.
I will. Say goodnight to Philip.
James Stewart would have had time just then to literally move those 4 books and open the chest and just take a peep.
Thanks much more.
that's not yours.
Embarrassed. Possibly spoil it, Mr. Kentley.
Well, I meant by leaving so early.
Oh my gosh, of course, because David took his hat off when he got there. And then they killed him without his hat.
Can I help you with those books, Mr. Kentley? Thanks.
The hat, you stupid. Look at this. Smug, smug, smug. Maybe Rupert did open the chest when we weren't watching just then. He had opportunity.
Otherwise, it might look a little like,
Praying I'd wake up and find we hadn't done it yet.
But why?
But why?
Think we're going to get caught.
Oh, there's not a chance. Oh, there was, I suppose, but not anymore. Well,
Rupert.
Enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to write. And mind your P's and Q's.
I wonder if James Stewart's coming back. Or...
Hello, this is Mr. Brandon Shaw. Would you send my car around, please? Yes, right away. Thank you.
Doesn't even lock.
Better draw the curtains.
Rupert.
And maybe Mrs. Wilson forgot something. Answer it.
Brandon, couldn't we pretend we're not home?
With all these lights on, answer it, Philip.
Rupert? They're gonna get caught. They have to get caught. I want him to get caught.
Brandon, it's Rupert.
What?
He wants to come up. He says he left a cigarette case here. He wants to come up.
Well, let him come.
Ah!
Boom.
Brandon, I can't.
You've got to.
No, he knows. Shut
up. Rupert, come on up.
He knows everything. He saw the hat.
We'll find it in no time.
He hasn't lost his cigarette case. Or he's left it there intentionally.
Or anyone else. No one is going to get in my way now.
Here we go. What if he's just like madly impressed and is like, good job, boys. You are a superior. Now you're being crazy.
I didn't mean to alarm you before.
You didn't alarm him. I'm afraid Philip's a little antisocial tonight.
Philip is sweating bullets.
I suppose a psychoanalyst would say that I didn't really forget it at all. I unconsciously left it because I wanted to come back.
Those books weren't there, though.
It was when I was there. I was just going to open the chest for Mrs. Wilson when you came over, Brandon. And then what?
The books weren't there, bro.
You're sure it's all right?
He said you could have it.
Thank you.
Don't mind Philip. I'm afraid he's
At this point, just tell him to go. Just say, no, go. We're tired. We're driving up to the country.
Especially when the evening has been unusually stimulating. Or strange.
He's gonna just be into it.
I don't exactly know what I meant, unless I was thinking about David.
Philip losing his mind.
Held up?
in broad daylight.
Yes, it must have been broad daylight when it happened.
When, what happened?
He's not gonna shoot Rupert. No way.
Still, where is he?
You know!
Well, it's the sort of mischief that would have appealed to you in school for the experience, the excitement, the danger.
That's exactly why.
David out of the way.
Now, you're much better at this sort of thing than I am.
No, but what would you do if you were I?
Well,
He's gonna say it.
Well, that's good. And no witnesses.
yes, that's right.
Then what?
Well, let me see.
He's gonna say it exactly.
Tell him how fine he's looking and so forth. And,
Take
take
his
his
hat.
hat.
Ah!
And I'd bring him in here, make some small talk to put him at it.
Pour him a drink.
So I'd move quietly around behind the chair and hit him on the head with something.
Then where would you put him?
Oh, he knows. He's known the whole time. Ah.
Now, that means I'd have to find some place to hide the body until dark.
Yes, you would, but, where, Rupert?
Mm-mm. But what is the plan? Hoping that he's just gonna be impressed and let him go, or he's gonna kill him?
Mouse, cat and mouse.
Philip, several burglaries and Mother's a bit on edge.
Good answer
Philip,
All right.
as to why he would have just grabbed it.
he thought...
Good recovery.
Lovely night. You'll be driving up in good weather. I almost wish I were going with you. It might be rather exciting.
Did he take it off the books?
He knows, he knows.
All right,
He knows.
all right, easy. I'll take care
No,
of it.
you won't. Sooner. This is what you wanted, isn't it?
Uh,
You made me do it, and I hate you. I hate both of us.
it's gonna go off. It's gonna shoot Brandon. No one.
Stupid, babbling drunk. I know this, but he's been becoming an alcoholic, Rupert.
Brandon, will you step over there, please?
Oh my gosh.
Couldn't believe it was true. Rupert, please.
Please, what?
Listen to me. Just listen. Let me explain.
He's not gonna be proud of you.
Because you'll understand.
Understand?
Rupert, Rupert. Remember we said the lives of inferior... good and evil and right and wrong don't hold for the intellectually superior.
I think Rupert just talks garbage for impact and effect. He doesn't even mean it.
I knew you'd understand because you have to, don't you see? You have to.
He just says it for shock value, I bet.
You were right, too. If nothing else, a man should stand by his words. But you've given my words a meaning that I never dreamed.
But you said it.
You're going to die, Brandon, both of you.
What's that? To do that so somebody else calls the police because of gunshots? Somebody call the police. Brandon's just pouring a drink. I bet that's it. It's just gonna go black from here. Small role for Dick Hogan. It very much was like watching a play. But it's also nice to see something, you know, with like 6 cast members in one set, and sort of, you know, as a filmmaker too, that's inspiring when you go, you know what, we can make stuff like that. That was fun. James Stewart was awesome. So good. And I'm glad that he wasn't, you know, this sort of heartless idol of theirs that was proud of what he had instilled in them. So the fact that he was kind of just spouting all this little bit, you know, idealistic, false garbage of his superiority stuff, I'm glad that when faced with it in reality, he was, you know, absolutely not. And then they got caught. I enjoyed it. It felt short. It felt quick. I'm into the Hitchcocks. Let's go another one. Let's go another Hitchcock. I'm Coby, and you've been watching with me on Criminal Content, and I will see you next time. Bye.